here we are. It is a gorgeous morning here in East Tennessee, and we are on the Great Lake Chickamauga with my good friend, Mr. Caleb Bell, Mr. Bassquest, and I am super excited to be down here with him, super excited to be fishing. It has been a tough couple of days fishing. You guys know I kind of got on a little something and then totally lost it because they jerked the water down on me. And so I called Caleb up and I said, hey buddy, I got a few days off here. I said, when are we going fishing? And he said, well, right now, boy, right now. And so I decided to meet him down here. We're going to see what we can get done today. I'm really excited. Water is coming up. We had a big rainstorm, thunderstorm move through last night. That was a bass, just ate something on top water right there. We got some high, dirty water, and on Lake Chickamauga, in the end of March, high, dirty water means a couple of things. A lot of big gizzard shad up shallow, a lot of current, and a lot of big old bass that want to move up here and want to eat. And so, yeah, we're down here. We're going to see what we can get done. I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to pick up a fishing rod, and we're going to try to put some genuine Chickamauga studs into the boat. Studs. There we go, dude. Powerful. Got one on this too. Did he? Smoke. I mean, first top water fish of 2020.
Shot to cut it on the Shexquanicowanica.
I don't even know what that thing's called, to be honest with you.
That's what it's called.
That's hilarious, dude. Double up. First topwater fish of the year. Dude, that fish, I mean, to be so little, he ate it like he was 12 pounds. Little dinkety dink. There we go. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot bigger. Oh, dude. Wow, that's fun. I don't even know why we do that. Yeah. Yep, all right, we got this spot. I think we done did it. Let's just get on out of here. That GoPro's back there tasting them guys, man. Dude, like, tasting them. Yeah.
There's a saddle right there. That's what I'm fishing at.
Yeah. There we go.
I figured I'd get more biting this morning. Fine.
I mean, they ain't big uns.
They biting.
They biting. Little dude.
This is really push a quarter ounce trap spot. That's right. I'm being beached.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to show you my red color. I got one called Rudd Red.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it is. There we go. Oh, I love it. On juice style too. Yes.
Yes, boy.
Yes. Yeah. Woo-hoo!
We're not playing reindeer games.
No, we're not. Hey, boys. Ding. Freaking love that right there. Dude, that fish is so shallow because I hooked it in the bottom of the mouth. Heck yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good, buddy.
Break your foot, brother. Get trout fishing.
There you go. Well, he ain't no giant, but that's fun.
I'm a man with a plan.
He said, I'm a man with a plan. GoPro, stop recording. with Cole. He asked if I knew anybody, and I said, yeah, I actually do. Yeah, he is. You been down here on with it. Do you? Yeah. It's up a little bit shallower, wasn't it? Yep. As soon as I can get my crap unfudged here. Well, this morning was fun. I don't know about y'all, but it was fun for me. Hopefully it was fun to watch. I mean, we caught us a few. No giants, but we caught us a few. I mean,
chances.
Yeah, we definitely did. Caleb, you guys missed it, but Caleb had a dad Jim biggin hooked up in another part of the river, and
a little starting spot.
a little starting spot back there. And unfortunately, Big Girl had her way with him and took him into a tree. So yeah, but interesting, fun little day so far. We're figuring it out. I mean, I kind of figured with it being post front, bluebird, high skies, kind of what we're dealing with today, that it was going to be tough, and it is. I mean, it's tough, but we caught some fish this morning. You know, found those fish schooled up first thing this morning. It's right off of that dock. I had some fun catching those fish. Unfortunately, none of them were big ones. But the wind's supposed to start blowing this afternoon. The current's supposed to pick up just a little bit, and I think it could be just a complete game changer in kind of what we're doing, what we're focusing on. What we need right now is some wind and some current to kind of consolidate these fish, because the problem is they want to be super, super shallow. And when there's no current, when there's no wind, and they're that shallow, they'll be spread out all over spots. And that's kind of what happened this morning. We found them schooled, but not like tightly schooled. They were just kind of all out in this one big flat, this one big saddle. And we just kind of picked them off one by one by one. So yeah, it's fun though. So what we've done, we've made a little bit of push up into the river here. It's a little after 11 o'clock. And we're going to spend the rest of the day fishing up here in the river portion of the lake, you know, looking for some of those fish just where there's more current. They can be more consolidated, kind of doing the stuff that we know they need to be doing so that we can put some fish in the boat. But yeah, just thought I'd take a second to talk to you guys a little midday update. Gonna pick up a square bill and a lipless and kind of keep on doing what I was doing, and hopefully put us a dad Jim giant into the boat.
Dude, I ain't. So I was in here the other night. I was not fishing.
I love what every story like, now listen, you just gotta listen.
I ain't told nobody this. I'm fishing in here, and there's beavers everywhere making all kinds of rackets.
Yeah.
I'm not really paying attention.
Yep.
That's the sorriest looking dang fish.
Hi, though. Come here. Heck yeah, dude. Look at that. Old hybrid hustler in his freaking throat. Dude, that poor fish is a little strung out. He's got a head on him to be a biggin, but he ain't no biggin. Look at that. Little black and blue hybrid hustler. That's all right. That's all right. See you, bud. Get out of here, man. Heck yeah.
There's a slot limit on this lake.
Yeah.
Put a slot limit on it for a few years. Everybody will be like, fuck this, and they won't freaking.
Oh my God. Yep.
It's fast too.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, not a bad one.
No.
I got it.
Thank you, sir.
You put him underneath the boat. I was like,
He disappeared up underneath that boat, and you were like, Alex?
don't really know if we're successful or not, sir.
Oh, are you kidding me? There we go. Well, that ain't too bad. I mean, I tell you, son, this is what I like to call junk fishing. Ned rig, lipless.
How many things can we catch a bass on today?
What have I caught them? A square bill, a lipless, a jig, and a Ned rig.
Yep.
So at this point, 4 fish. I tell you what, Caleb. It's something, ain't it, buddy? There's a lot of people out here today. I'll tell you that much. Lake Chickamauga at its finest. At its finest. There's probably literally 300 boats out here today. But hey, what can you do? We're catching them, junk fishing, and we're catching them. And we're having some fun. And just like that, someone else just ran in behind us there. So, yeah. Caleb, you having fun, buddy?
Hell yeah.
He said, hell yeah. I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. You know, it's fascinating. You can watch a plane fly and watch the earth turn because the way the plane moves.
Watch the contrails change shape.
It's crazy. Welcome to my brain. All right, I'm gonna pick up a jig and keep on fishing. There we go. Pop it right over that rock. That's right. Little loon action there. There he is.
Yeah, boy. Smaller too, isn't it?
Nope.
Yeah, bud.
Heck yeah. God, I love the hook in that jig. Look at that poor dude. He's been caught a couple times. Poor guy. Yeah. Thank you for participating, though, buddy. Ooh, the hybrid hustler. Oh, I just got hammered, dude. There we go.
Yep.
That's a good one. Golly, that fish is freaking out, dude. Dude, that's a better one? Or no? Nope. It's a white bass. That's funny. What we got here? A little largemouth. At least I think it's a largemouth. Is it? Oh yeah, yeah. Man, that's so much fun, dude. I love that crap. I love catching them on this dang Ned rig. You know, we were just talking about not catching chunky ones, man, but I think we found them. There we go. Along the old deadly Nedley. God, that is so much fun. Oh. The deadly Nedley strikes again. Go to the big fish capital of Tennessee, and what do? Throw a dad Jim Ned rig. No, dude, they're getting bigger. All right, here's another on the old deadly Nedley.
Had enough.
Can't do it no more, huh?
Nope.
Heck yeah.
Took forever. I'm taking to put something else on.
Another one on the deadly Nedley. Did he come off?
Just stopped it. I wasn't really paying attention.
There we go. Double up, son. Get it back in there. Let's double up real quick. Hey, he ain't no size, son. We'll get back here with you. Get him, son. Get him.
I had to wait and take it for a minute because I was waiting on you to get yours.
Well, wait just a second. Let's see.
If you just leave it there, dude, just don't move it.
Okay, right there. Well, quit that. Heck yeah. These are chunkers, dude. Look at them, white. Them's fresh fish. I mean fresh fish. Fresh fish. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2.
The way we were lined up that first time, when your line just shot out to the side, was hilarious.
Yeah. See that? I hate when that thing does that.
It's like there ought to be
Dude, let me tell you something. This right here is a kayak spot. Like, you could win a kayak tournament right here.
Yeah. You'd have won that one that Eric and I fished that time, but freaking snowed 2.5 inches while we were out here. And those fish actually scattered out way out there because the water came up high.
Yeah.
I found them at the very end of the tournament and caught a limit and got 4th place.
Heck yeah. Ain't nothing quite like finding a school of them.
More better.
It is just more better. It's more better to catch them schooling than really anything else. So much more better. I'll grab them out of here. Out of my monster bass bag here. A lot of you guys are asking, how much can you store inside of a monster bass bag? Well, here you go. A lot of crap. I got like 15 bags of plastics in there, a bottle of JJ's, an orange marker. I mean, I got a little bit of everything in there. And it all fits. Those are awesome. Links in the description. Use code BEARD. It'll save you 10% off. Go get you one.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's all that line. I'm like, what's that?
Too quick. It's moving just a little too quick for me. I love when they start jumping like that, man. Heck yeah. That's the best one of the bunch right there. Well, no, that one you caught was slightly bigger, I believe. God, dude, that hooks them so good. Hooks them so good. That's so awesome. Boys and girls, I tell you what, that was the definition of junk fishing. That's what all day yesterday was just some springtime pre-spawn, kind of, I would figure, into spawn junk fishing. Me and Caleb kind of had that conversation yesterday afternoon. You know, water was 64 degrees by the end of the day. Last night was almost the full moon. Like, we're almost there. I think tonight will actually be the full moon. And it was just such an interesting experience to kind of see those fish just starting to move up, just starting to use that current, kind of doing their thing, you know what I mean? But it was definitely full-blown springtime, just junk fishing. We used a little bit of everything to put fish into the boat, and obviously had that kind of key bite in the morning with the lipless, and then that big key bite in the afternoon with the Ned rig, and no giants put into the boat, but a bunch of little quality fish. And I really believe that moving on into the next few days, into the kind of the middle of next week, with the rain that you guys can probably hear that we've got going on right now, and this kind of little bit of a warming trend that we're going to go on before we go into a cold front, that some of those bigger fish will move up there. And I'm actually going to take Dad back and go see if we can kind of recapitalize on that same bite and see what we can get done. And I had a ton of fun. I put the timestamps in for you guys too, so you can kind of see just how quickly, when you do find a school of fish, how quickly you can put fish into the boat. And I also found it fascinating just to look at the timestamps as I was editing this together and go, man, like we were just boom, 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 catching those fish back to back to back. But thought I would take a second, talk about what I was catching them on, what we were throwing, just kind of the gear and everything, so that you guys can get a good look at it and kind of know what we were doing. So first thing in the morning, I caught several fish back to back. You guys saw on that little bitty school on that shell bar on a lipless. The lipless that I was actually using in the video was a chartreuse perch, and broke that one off, and so I tied on this old chrome one that you guys can see here. It's got all the paint knocked off of it. It's an old chrome and blue is what this one was. No, I think this is actually chrome sexy shad, but got all the paint knocked off of it and put some fish in the boat with that thing. Both of those baits, I upgraded the hooks on them to Owner STX 57s, number 4 size. Absolutely love this little STX hook because it is the Zoe wire, and so it's a 2X strong hook while still staying a pretty small diameter, so you can really stick those fish really good. And then I was throwing that on my 7.5 foot medium heavy moderate action Lew's custom cranking stick. This is the Magnum crankbait 2, and it's an awesome rod. I love that 7.6 because it's a little bit longer, and you guys saw we were fishing really shallow, so if I wanted to, I could keep that rod tip up and keep that bait coming and not get it hung up on stuff. But unfortunately I did get my one chartreuse perch lipless hung up and broke it off. And then I had that paired with a Lew's custom reel 6/8 gear ratio with some 12-pound Strike King fluorocarbon on there, and put some fish in the boat, just boom 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 with that. And when the school actually turned off, that first little school that we got on, I picked up my brand new Monster Bass square bill crankbait and caught one on it. It's actually the biggest one that I caught off that spot. This is the Juice Crawl color. And I had that paired up with that Lew's Greg Hackney 7-foot medium moderate action rod. Like I said, and I've said before, it's actually an Academy exclusive rod. And I think you can only buy them in stores. I've had a lot of people look for them online and they can never find like the listing for them online the right way. So I'll list an equivalence to this rod, which is the KVD rod. And then I had that paired up with some 12-pound Strike King fluorocarbon 6/8 gear ratio reel as well. And that was kind of that first spot. That was really that early morning bite, just as soon as the sun got up. We fished one spot like pretty quickly, and then me and Caleb made the decision, hey, the current's rolling right now. They're going to turn it off middle of the day. Let's get out here. Let's get in the current. Let's get on a spot, see if we can find some schooling fish. And we did. Just didn't get on the size that we wanted, but we found some schooling fish. And then as the day went on, I picked up the old black and blue jig and put a couple fish into the boat with it as well. Essentially what happened was sun got high, and so me and Caleb started looking for shade lines and looking for just a little bit deeper water. And when I say deeper, I mean we started looking for places that the boat was sitting in 10 and we were casting up into 0 and dragging it off into that 10-foot range. And flipped up 2 bass on a Beast Coast hybrid hustler in black and blue, and I had that paired up with a Berkeley meaty chunk, is actually what that is, the Maxcent meaty chunk. And picked some of those up at a local tackle store the other day. I love the Maxcent stuff. I got turned on to it by my buddy Mr. Benjamin Nowak, and it has been fascinating to kind of see the Maxcent stuff work. But I also love this little bitty jig. It's 3/8 ounce. We've seen it before, we talked about it before, but it's 3/8 ounce hybrid jig. And so it's called a hybrid because not only do you have a silicone skirt, but you've also got that marabou in there as well. And so it gives it just a little something different. And it's also just an awesome little jig to cast, to skip, flip around. Love this little hybrid hustler. It is definitely gave me kind of a new view on jig fishing. This and the Gorilla Swim jig by Beast Coast. I've never been a big jig fisherman, but both of these jigs make me want to keep a jig in my hand. And then I had that paired up with a 7.2 medium heavy Lew's Custom. This is actually the finesse jig special rod. And it is an awesome little rod, awesome for small finesse jigs, Texas rigs, those kinds of things. Really, really cool little rod. Had that paired up with a Lew's KVD 7.5 gear ratio and then some 15-pound fluorocarbon as well on there. And put actually the 2 biggest fish that I put in the boat all day with that jig. That big headed one that you guys saw was probably like a 2.5, 3 pounder. If it had a body on it, probably been a lot bigger. But that big headed one right in the middle of the day, and then that other one that I caught flipping those bluff walls in the current. And that one again, you know, we say bluff wall. We were sitting in about 10 foot of water, flipping up into 0 and dragging it off into that current. And when it would hit that current, those fish would just rush out and grab it. And honestly, both of them, I didn't feel the bite. I just picked up, they're swimming back up current with it, and I hit them. And then towards the end of the day, kind of that 2 to 4 o'clock range, you know, we kind of knew that the current was going to pick back up. We knew that the water would be the warmest it would be all day, and it gave a lot of the spots that we wanted to fish time to rest. We went back and we picked up the old Deadly Nedley, and we went to work on them. And you guys heard in the video, I was throwing I was throwing a Strike King Ned Ocho in moon juice with the tail dipped in just a little bit of chartreuse on a 3/16 ounce Strike King head. 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, 20-pound mainline on my 7-foot medium fast action Lew's smash combo, $79 combo, cannot beat it. And we ended up absolutely smashing their face in on that one spot and just put a bunch of fish in the boat and had a ton of fun. And that one little spot was kind of interesting. Essentially what it was where a creek dumped in, and where that creek dumped in, it created a kind of just a big eddy and a swirl right there, right? And that back eddy and that swirl, those fish were sitting on that back eddy. And so what that means is, you know, you had the current seam coming down, and then the back eddy flowed against that current seam and essentially just made a pocket of dead water right there. And you'd throw that Ned rig up there and drag it into that pocket of dead water, and they'd hit it because they were just sitting there waiting for bait fish, bluegills, crawdads, whatever else would come by their face, and they would rush out and eat it. And that's kind of how our day went. 4 different rods and reel combos, 4 different baits, junk fishing, just putting things together. Never dedicated myself to one bait. And I tell you, this time of year, as we get into that weird kind of in between, that transitional time between when they're pre-spawn and when they want to spawn, you got to be versatile. You got to be willing to pick up different things, go do different things, and put fish into the boat. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Questions or comments, you know where to go leave them. Also, go down in the description. I'll have links to everything that I talked about down there today, so you guys can go use those links, Tackle Warehouse affiliate links. They help me out. And as always, you guys are sweet. Thank you for watching.